Hi, so I want to do this video to show you guys this journal. I get lots of questions about my different journals, and I think I've done a video on all of them except this one. So just to recap, if you're new here or if you haven't seen the other ones, I have journals for my books, my Bible notes. So this one has all the New Testament. So basically if I'm going to study, like currently I'm studying Titus, I can just flip to Titus and I can have, like the bookmark, I can have some intro stuff, and then sometimes I print off the actual text, but then I can just take notes. And so then I can just have, word studies, declare truth, everything about Titus in one space. If I ever to watch a sermon on Titus, I would put that in here, or listen to a podcast. So basically I just kind of have this record of like everything I've ever studied for that book. So I have those binders. And then I have my prayer journal, which is all my prayers. And my prayers are kind of separated by categories. So I can pray for my marriage and pray for my children, pray for the world, all that stuff. So it's my prayer journal. And the prayer journal is something I get into every single day. And then this is kind of my everything else journal. So something that doesn't go in my prayer journal and doesn't go in the books of the Bible, like notes, it goes in here. So I have it separated by months, and then in the back I also have extra stuff. So this is the monthly stuff, just, categorized by months. And then after the months I have some other dividers, which I'll show you. But basically I have it, I page the number, or I number the pages, okay, so that I can quickly look through, and I just have these different study topics. So anything about the Bible, God notes, prayer, declare truth, sermons, my word of the year, marriage, motherhood, sweet moments, business / work. I accidentally put marriage in. Journaling, goals, battle is yours, and scripture memory. So that's just how I categorize it. And I do that just because if I am looking for maybe a specific prayer, rather than trying to remember what month it is, I can just look at the page number and then quickly flip to that page. So the types of things that go in here, again, just anything that doesn't go in the other stuff, in the other journal. So goals, stuff on, let's see, declare truth sometimes I'll put that in the books of the Bible, dividers, let's see, sweet moments, I have that, goals, prayer. And for prayer, sometimes it's more longer prayers. So let me just kind of walk through and show you. So first, like, this was my word of the year in January. So I kind of wrote down some Bible verses, and I just made this on my iPad. A lot of this stuff starts as notes, like just a note in my phone that I make, and then I can kind of type it out on the iPad and make it cute. On the back of each of my dividers, I have a theme for the month. So, and this is just something available in my studio, but I can kind of focus on these things. There's usually some Bible verses, sometimes a prayer, sometimes like a reflection question or something. So word of the year stuff goes in here. This was an encouragement from a friend. On this page, we were talking on the phone, and it was very encouraging. And honestly, as we started talking, I was just kind of taking some notes of some things she said and some Bible verses she was mentioning. And then I just put it in my journal because I knew it was something I'd want to look back on. Let's see, this is a prayer I wrote for special needs moms, which I'm a special needs mom, so prayer for myself, basically. Then again, some stuff from friends. This was just some journaling, just journaling about whatever. So again, like journaling won't really go in my prayer journal or my other journal, so that will go here. So if I just kind of want to journal about the day or reflect upon some stuff, that's what will go in here. This is actually from my scrapbook, but I kind of thought I'd put it in here just because that was this month, and just to kind of have some pictures in my journal. My anniversary, let's see, goals and intentions. So a lot of times I try to kind of do some goals, and these are not really like exercise and stuff, but more like character goals. So I wanted to have a gentle and quiet spirit. That's from 1 Peter 3:4. And then I just wrote some things. Hope in God, a spirit that is quiet and content, a meek heart, opposite of self-assertiveness and self-interest, trusting God's goodness, peaceable, have soft answers. Proverbs 15:1, speak softly, be strong, and be alert, from Ephesians 6, pray, put on the armor. So I like to kind of make some goals, and again, I don't do that every month. This was from the studio. Again, just some like prayers about contentment, prayer on Psalm 141, just different stuff, declare truth. Again, when I first started this, I didn't have my books of the Bible journal, so some of this, now that I'm doing it, we'll see how it looks next year. I'll do another video because it might look a little bit different because I do have some Bible notes and stuff in here. Like this, Galatians is on the study of fruit of the Spirit. I did print off another one and put it in my actual books of the Bible. Again, like longer prayers, calendars. So this month I decided to do a calendar, and anytime I was in the Word, I drew a little rainbow. A heart was for prayers, and then these crosses were for gratitude. So just to kind of keep track of stuff. This one I decided to just write, so yeah, scripture memory. So I just wrote some scripture memory stuff. Again, some more goals. More goals. I'm not sure why I did that twice. Okay, June, again, like scripture memory stuff. This was a book I read on contentment, so I put that in here. Again, I took notes on my phone, and then I just kind of made it on my iPad. And then here's a bunch of Bible verses about contentment. Another calendar, some reflection questions, planning out my quiet time, monthly recap. So that's just kind of the stuff I do in here, how I can glorify God. This was something I printed off from a blog. It was about praying, and so I printed that off. Truth I'm meditating on, monthly recap. This was my birthday, so on my birthday I just wrote down some verses I was focusing on, and September, again, how I can glorify God. So very simple stuff. I don't do a ton in here. And then there's October. Okay. And then, so as you can see, I did not even print off November yet. So I don't use this journal as much as my other journals. And then after all the month stuff, I have this stuff, which I get to a lot more, which is why I don't have it in the month stuff. So first I have Bible, which has my reading plan. So this just has, I can just highlight when I read a book of the Bible. These were some goals I made for Bible reading, for prayer. And then these are my field notes. And then I have Psalm 46. So this is something I studied or I memorized, and I have all my Psalm 46 stuff here. And the reason I created a separate divider is just because I wasn't at first, and so I would have to like remember where it was. And if you were memorizing something for several months, I didn't want to have to constantly like go back to July and then go to August to find something, then go to September. So I wanted, anytime I studied, memorize something, I like to make my own divider or put it behind the memorizing divider. So this is all of my memorization stuff for Psalm 46. And then I have the armor of God. So again, this is just all the stuff for the armor of God. This is the Advent study we're going to be doing. So this starts in about a week or two, I think. So this is just here ready for me so I can study that. And then I have this memorized. So this is kind of like a reference of all the stuff I have memorized, and then any of these. So this one was one I just did a single verse, Proverbs 18:10. So because it wasn't like a whole chapter or a whole like thing like the armor of God or Psalm 46, I just put it behind here. And then I have books, and just write down books I read. So that is it for this journal. It's pretty simple. Again, it's just random stuff. Like this is something else I might put in here. These are these mini Bible studies from the studio. Sometimes I put them in here. In the past lately, I've actually been keeping them in my books of the Bible divider. So like for Ephesians, I have it and I did it, but I ended up putting it in here just so it's kind of all together. So sometimes I put those in here in the past, and sometimes I will just file them behind whatever book of the Bible it is. Yeah, that's basically it. So it's just kind of anything that doesn't really fit in other stuff, and especially scripture memory. I don't want to keep scripture memory in my prayer journal, and I didn't really want to keep it in my Bible, Bible notes, just because I think it would get like filled pretty quickly. So this has worked for me for just to be like basic journaling and then scripture memory.